Have you ever eaten a healthy meal and still felt bloated or tired afterward? Maybe you've started paying more attention to your health lately, adding more vegetables to your plate, drinking more water, trying to stay active, but something still feels off. The truth is, as we get older, our bodies don't always react to food the same way they used to. Some vegetables that were once easy to digest or considered superfoods might now be causing more harm than good. That might sound surprising, maybe even frustrating. But it's not your fault. Our digestion slows down with age, and the way certain foods affect our joints, energy, and stomach can change, too. And here's the part most people don't talk about. Not all vegetables are good for everyone. In fact, there are a few common ones that may be behind things like bloating, acid reflux, or those strange aches you feel in the morning. So today, let's talk about 5 vegetables that might be making you feel worse without you even realizing it. More importantly, we'll talk about what you can eat instead, because eating healthy shouldn't mean feeling uncomfortable. Stick around until the end, and if any of these foods have ever caused you trouble, let me know in the comments. You're definitely not alone. Now let's begin. 1. Cruciferous vegetables: broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. Let's start with one of the biggest surprises. Those leafy, green, crunchy vegetables that we've all been told are great for your health. You've probably had broccoli with dinner, maybe some cabbage in your salad, or even cauliflower mashed as a potato substitute. And sure, these veggies are full of fiber and vitamins, but they can also be tough on an aging digestive system. Here's the deal. Cruciferous vegetables, like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts, are high in fiber and sulfur compounds. While that sounds healthy on paper, your gut might not see it the same way. As we age, our digestion naturally slows down. That means your stomach and intestines can have a harder time breaking down these tough fibers. The result? Bloating, gas, stomach cramps, and that uncomfortable, full feeling that just lingers for hours. You might even think you're eating light and clean, but end up feeling like you overate. That's because these vegetables contain something called raffinose, a carbohydrate that ferments in your gut and creates gas. For younger folks, that might not be a big deal. But for older adults, especially those with sensitive stomachs or slower digestion, it can be a recipe for discomfort. And there's more. Cruciferous vegetables can also interfere with your thyroid. They contain natural compounds called goitrogens that can block your body's ability to absorb iodine, a mineral your thyroid needs to function properly. So, if you already deal with thyroid issues or feel unusually tired and sluggish, these vegetables might be making things worse without you even knowing. Now, this doesn't mean you have to cut them out completely, but how you cook them and how much you eat matters. Lightly steaming or roasting can help break down some of the tough fibers. But if you consistently feel bloated after eating these veggies, it might be time to switch things up. Gentler options like zucchini, bell peppers, or cooked carrots are easier on your stomach and still give you plenty of nutrients. The goal is simple: eat in a way that makes you feel good, not just in theory, but in real life. Because no food is worth feeling miserable after every meal. 2. Nightshade vegetables: tomatoes, eggplants, peppers, potatoes. You probably eat tomatoes, eggplants, bell peppers, or potatoes without thinking twice. They're in everything: sauces, salads, side dishes. But if you're dealing with joint pain, stiffness, or even just that deep, nagging soreness that never quite goes away, these common vegetables could be part of the problem. They belong to a group called nightshades, and while they seem harmless, they contain a chemical called solanine. For many older adults, especially those with arthritis or inflammation issues, solanine can irritate the joints and worsen pain. You might feel it in your knees when you get up, in your hands when you're holding something, or just as a general heaviness in your body. The frustrating part is, most people never make the connection to food. Tomatoes and peppers bring another problem. They're acidic. That means they can trigger acid reflux or heartburn, especially in a body that's already more sensitive than it used to be. If you ever feel that burning sensation after spaghetti or salsa, your body's trying to tell you something. It's not just getting older. It's how certain foods react with your system. Potatoes are a bit sneaky too. While they seem simple, they break down fast in your body and cause a spike in blood sugar. That's especially important if you're trying to manage diabetes or even just energy levels. You might feel great for an hour, then hit a wall of fatigue. Sound familiar? The good news? You don't need to give these foods up forever. But taking a short break, even 2 to 3 weeks, can help you see if they're affecting you. Some people feel the difference within days. And if you still enjoy them, try eating them cooked instead of raw, or use alternatives like sweet potatoes, squash, or zucchini that are easier on both joints and digestion. Sometimes it's the everyday things causing the everyday problems. 3. Raw onions and garlic. Onions and garlic are in almost every kitchen. They add flavor. They smell great when cooking, and for years, we've heard they're good for the heart. But here's the truth: when eaten raw, they can cause more harm than good for many older adults, especially when it comes to digestion. If you've ever had a meal with raw onions, maybe in a salad or on a sandwich, and ended up feeling bloated, gassy, or just plain uncomfortable afterward, you're not alone. Garlic and onions both contain sulfur compounds and something called fructans, types of fibers that ferment in your gut. That fermentation creates gas, and not the kind you just ignore. We're talking about pressure, bloating, discomfort, and for some people, even cramps or diarrhea. On top of that, raw garlic and onions have another little trick. They relax the muscle that keeps stomach acid where it belongs. That means if you already struggle with acid reflux or heartburn, these foods can make it worse. That burning feeling in your chest after a meal is not always the spicy stuff. Sometimes it's the raw onions in your tuna salad or the garlic in your dressing. And here's something else to think about. As we age, our digestive system slows down. It doesn't handle certain foods the way it used to. What never bothered you in your 40s might now leave you feeling like you swallowed a balloon in your 70s. But don't worry. This isn't about cutting flavor out of your meals. You can still enjoy onions and garlic, you just need to cook them. Roasting or sautéing helps break down the compounds that cause issues, making them much easier on the stomach. Even garlic-infused oils can give you the taste without the bloating or heartburn. If your stomach has been giving you trouble lately, and you've tried everything from cutting back on coffee to avoiding fried foods, but still feel off, take a closer look at those raw onions and garlic. You might be surprised by how much better you feel with one small change. 4. Corn and other hard-to-digest starches. Corn might feel like a safe, familiar food. It's in everything, from corn on the cob at summer BBQs to popcorn during a movie night. But for a lot of older adults, corn quietly causes more digestive trouble than it's worth. The problem starts with how our bodies handle corn. It has an outer shell made of cellulose, which humans simply can't break down. That means when you eat corn, especially in large amounts, it tends to sit in your gut longer, creating gas, bloating, and that heavy, sluggish feeling after meals. Ever notice whole kernels showing up in your stool? That's a sign your body didn't digest it properly, and it's more common than people realize. Popcorn, especially, can be rough. Those little kernels are hard, sharp, and dry, not exactly kind to your digestive tract. If you have diverticulosis, a condition where small pouches form in your colon, which many people over 60 do, popcorn can irritate those areas and lead to discomfort or flare-ups. There's also the blood sugar factor. Corn is a high glycemic food, which means it breaks down into sugar quickly in your body. It might not be as sweet as candy, but it still causes blood sugar spikes that leave you tired and foggy, especially if you're managing diabetes or insulin resistance. That said, no one's saying you have to ban corn forever, but it's worth paying attention to how it makes you feel. If you feel unusually bloated or slow after a meal that includes corn, your body could be signaling that it's having a tough time with it. You might try replacing it with softer, easier to digest veggies like cooked carrots, zucchini, or even mashed cauliflower. Feeling lighter after a meal isn't just a nice bonus. It's a sign your body's working with your food, not fighting it. 5. Spinach and other high-oxalate greens. Spinach has long been praised as a superfood, packed with iron, fiber, and vitamins. It's in smoothies, salads, omelets, and we've all been told to eat our greens. But for many older adults, especially those who've dealt with kidney stones or have concerns about bone health, spinach might not be as friendly as it seems. The issue lies in something called oxalates, natural compounds found in high amounts in spinach and some other leafy greens. In small doses, oxalates aren't a big deal. But when they build up in the body, especially in people who are more sensitive, they can bind with calcium and form crystals. That's how many kidney stones begin. If you've ever suffered through the pain of a kidney stone, you know it's not something you want to experience again. And if you haven't, trust me, it's better to avoid them altogether. Spinach is one of the top oxalate-rich foods, and if you're eating it regularly, especially raw in salads or smoothies, it could quietly be increasing your risk. Oxalates don't just affect the kidneys. They can also interfere with how well your body absorbs calcium. And that's important because as we get older, maintaining bone strength is critical. Weak bones lead to fractures, slower recovery times, and more time spent sitting when you'd rather be living. So does that mean you should stop eating greens? Absolutely not. But it does mean you should be smart about which ones you choose. Instead of loading up on spinach every day, consider switching to lower oxalate options like kale, romaine, or bok choy. You'll still get the nutrition, without putting extra stress on your kidneys or bones. One more helpful tip. If you do eat high oxalate foods once in a while, try pairing them with calcium-rich foods like cheese or yogurt during the same meal. That way, the oxalates bind to the calcium in your gut and are less likely to travel to your kidneys. At the end of the day, the goal isn't to fear food. It's to eat in a way that helps your body feel good, stay strong, and avoid problems down the road. A few small adjustments can make a big difference in how you age, how you move, and how you feel every single day. Growing older brings a lot of changes, and how we eat is one of the most important things that affect our health and happiness. Understanding what's really good for your body, not just what sounds good, can make a huge difference. It's about feeling energized, staying strong, and enjoying your days without worrying about aches, pains, or health problems. Remember, it's never too late to make small changes that add up to big results. Eating smart isn't about strict rules or giving up everything you love. It's about learning what helps you feel your best and making choices that support your body's needs as you age. Take it step by step, listen to your body, and be kind to yourself along the way. Your health is your most valuable treasure, and treating it well is the best gift you can give yourself. If any of this struck a chord or you have questions, don't hesitate to share your thoughts. We're in this together.